Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Unnamed Gaming Podcast. I am Tempusbe, as ever, joined by the wonderful Bendy and the lovely Nettle. If you'd like to say hello. Yeah, she's gone blurry.
It's on the camera! Close on the camera! It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. How are we both?
Good. Yes.
Yeah.
Not apparently doesn't look like a human over here. Glasses do not make you look like a robot.
Don't know. I mean, I'm not having any problems.
Maybe you should get you some glasses.
Nah. 2020
This is
vision,
already
me,
off the
actually.
rails. Well.
Yeah.
These are for seeing. I'm alright. I just got astigmatism, so my eye's the wrong shape. There you go, audience.
And it's an early tangent, this one.
Haven't even said hello yet. Do you want to start again?
No, go for it. Say hello now.
Hi, I'm Bendy, your Admiral idiot. Welcome. General's over here.
She's trying to
this
usurp
way.
you.
General idiot's that way. I'm the Admiral. Then the Marshal's down there.
I think that opening has proved that. I would just like to start off by apologising. I do have a bit of a cold, so I might be sniffling a little bit over the course of the night. So, no, don't. See now, if you're listening,
far too fun.
If you're listening to this on podcast form, you should go and watch our YouTube video and see what just happened.
Do it.
Anyway, right, good. So, as per usual, we start with what we've been playing, and as the magnanimous host I am, I will go first. I have carried on with my Witcher playthrough. I've literally probably spent a whole week just doing side quests. So there's that.
About RPGs, side quests.
Yep, good. I've been carrying on with my Octopath Traveler videos. One thing I have... Yes, watch them on YouTube, please.
Tempusbe. I watch him on YouTube.
Correct. But like, I noticed something the other day when I was playing it, and I kind of wish I'd known about this beforehand. But because there's like 8 characters, and then you go around and collect them all to start, and then they go around and do the rest of their chapters and stuff like that. The one you choose first is constantly locked in place. Like, you cannot take them out of your team. And I didn't realise that. And if I had, I wouldn't have chosen the character I've chosen that I started with.
Do you hate them?
It's not that I hate them. No, it's just they are not what I'd consider to be. Like, there are probably 2 characters that if I was doing a suggested like run through, like an actual guide, there are 2 characters I would say to you probably start with, and that would be Cyrus, because he has just got all the magics, and he also analyzes your enemies, because when you first come up against people, I don't know, have you ever played it?
I played a little bit of it, the demo that came out.
But like, obviously when your enemy turns up, they've got like little boxes that show like when you hit them with something, it then if they're weak to it, it will then show. But when you start a battle with Cyrus in your team, he will unlock a weakness for every time you come up against an enemy. So you've already got that little bit of advantage when you go into a fight. The other one would be Harnett. She's the hunter, but she has like a axe and a bow, but she's also got a pet like leopard, and you can call that out into the fight, and that does either sword or spear damage. So she is covered for pretty much like for 4 of the weapon types. But I started off with Primrose. She is like a dancer.
I think I know that name.
Yeah, she's basically like she does buffing more or less, but she's the only one that does dark damage. But the only weapon she's got is a dagger. So I'm pretty much stuck with a dark damage dagger person constantly in my team when I probably could have done with like Cyrus or Harnett to start. But we live and we learn. If you're going to
There are
play it,
8 characters to choose from.
yeah,
To be fair, it's
yeah,
like you got to make the wrong decision
yeah. I
first,
mean,
right?
the thing is, you can still have all the others in your team. It's just, I think, one of the if you've got to have someone in your team constantly, I think it's got to be one of them too. But because like, and that's the thing as well. Is like I went round because I'm doing obviously a playthrough of it. I've gone around and I've done all of their chapter 1s, and then it was like chapter 2, and it gives you like a recommended level to go and do. So like by the time I'd unlocked everyone, I think because Primrose is in my team the whole time, she's like the highest level. I think she was like level 16, something like that. And then it was like, oh right, okay, so what level do I need to do next? And it was like recommended level 21. So I literally spent 4 hours the other day just walking around in a circle in this snowy
That's
area, grinding.
that's one of the things I hate. Like, I haven't played many Final Fantasies, but I've played Type 0, and there's a very big element because you have a massive roster that you can choose from, and certain people are better in certain places, quite similar to Octopath there in
Yeah,
that sort of thing. But
yeah,
having to get all of your characters up to the same level to then go on and do the next bit, it's so tedious, and it helps you a little bit because you can like drop them off in the training area in the college or whatever, and they'll go up a few levels when you're out and about. But that's one thing I'm not a fan of in JRPGs is like the grind.
yeah.
The grind.
Especially when obviously it is just the fact that it was like 4 hours just to get them all at a reasonable level that I feel like I could carry on. But it is what it is. But I did play something random because I've decided I'm going to try and get a random gaming off stream as I'm doing
Random.
Witcher. But recently added to the Game Pass, I downloaded and played a little bit of a game called Paparazzi.
I saw that.
What's it about?
In
What's it
Paparazzi,
about?
you are a photographer and you take
No.
pictures of doggos. That's pretty much it.
That's your
You,
premise for the whole game. You take
pretty
pictures of
much.
doggos.
You get some challenges to take certain pictures to get into certain areas and unlock them, and then like obviously when you take a picture, you upload it to like Dognet or something like that. I can't remember what it was called. And then you get something along that lines. But you get people commenting and liking it, and then you get followers, and the more followers you get, the more things you unlock, like lenses, and you unlock new areas, and then you can go back to other areas. Like the first one you start off with is like this little beach area with a lighthouse. Lighthouse. There's a H in that word. And you can go back to it at like sunset. Like it'll unlock a different time of day, so there'll be other things you can go back and replay the areas and stuff like that. I played it for like about an hour, but it's very much I think meant more for like younger people, but it was pretty good. But Net will be happy to know that the currency in it is a gold bone called bonks.
And that's your only bunks.
That's it.
Bonks.
That's
Gold
it.
only bonks.
Gold only bonks.
Paparazzi level. The highest tier. Paparazzi tier.
Paparazzi level.
You get to take pictures of my doggo that I don't have.
Yep. But it's like
my camera really doesn't want to work tonight.
I went to one area. It was like a boardwalk place, and there was a dog in full like elbow, knee pads, helmet while on skates, just going around. And there was another one on a bike. So they all dress them up and that, and it was quite a fun little game. But I've got a few lined up for the next few weeks. But that was me.
Look for the random
fun.
games on Game Pass.
That's it. Yeah.
Does this one sound weird? Yes. Get in my basket.
Yep. Pretty much. Okay. Nettle, what have you been playing this week?
Yes, it is me this week. I played a couple of games this week. Just 2. That was it. No, a couple of new games this week. So, one normal one, Apex. Obviously, the new season came out, so I gave that a go. I didn't play the new hero, Legend Maggie, but my other half did, and she's fun. She was fun. Yeah, she's interesting. She feels more defensive than anything else, but yeah, we managed to get a win within like 3 games. So. No, nearly
Wins a
killed each other in the first 2, but that's fine.
That's standard teamwork.
For us it's standard, yeah. So the one of the new games I played was Lawnmower Simulator, which I think a lot of people will know. And obviously one of the first thing I did was mow a dick into the lawn because I'm a big child. It was fun.
It's the only way you get your lawnmower license, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah, absolutely.
How good is your lawnmower dick?
Well, send us pictures on Twitter, everyone. If you have made a grass cut dick, show us on Twitter.
Lawnmower Simulator and show us your dicks.
Yeah, show us your dicks.
We want grass dick pics, please.
We want dick pics.
These are wanted dick pics.
They're not unsolicited. You're not going to go to jail. Don't worry. But it wasn't as fun as Power Wash Simulator. I don't know what it was.
Power Wash dicks in Power Wash Simulator, though.
Did you what?
No, I want a Power Wash Simulator dick too.
Oh, I
want both. I
have done a Power Wash Simulator dick live on air with clips on a charity stream.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I strive to make dicks in all my simulator games. But yeah, I didn't find it as fun as Power Wash Simulator. I don't know what it was, but it was just something very boring about sitting on the lawnmower going around. It didn't feel calming like Power Wash Simulator did. And the other big problem I had with it is because you're sitting still, your character is sitting still, but the lawnmower is moving. I got a lot of motion sickness. It was not pleasant. It's like it did that thing where you'd be looking at the screen and then you'd look away and everything was just rippling. It was like, oh no, I can't do this anymore. So I had about half an hour or something on it, and I couldn't do it anymore. I had to stop. And that got firmly uninstalled. So not the biggest fan of it. Wouldn't recommend. If you like your sim games, I don't think it's a very good one. Sorry, because I really, really like simulator games.
How many bonks out of 10?
2. Sorry.
2 bonks. Oh,
only 2 bonks out of 10.
One dick out of dicks.
1 dick out of dicks. Well, it's only getting a 2 because you can mow a dick into the lawn. So you know.
So that's
one it's got.
That's a potential for the Unnamed Gaming Awards later in the year for worst game of the year.
Yeah. Definitely. And
good
the good for dicks, not bad for everything else. The other game that I played was last day of June, which some of you may have seen that I did a review, a very quick review on our YouTube and TikTok and various Instagram social media, you know, the usual. It was a really good game. It was another it was kind of a walking sim game, but it had puzzle elements and another big story that came with it. It's a good game. You're basically playing as a husband who is reliving the last day of his wife's life through their neighbours in order to try and stop the events that killed her. And you play through one per character, and you think you've changed the way, it goes through, and you don't crash the car, which is how she dies. But then you find out that actually there's something else that happened that would have crashed the car anyway. And you go through and do this, and then you have to keep going backwards and forwards from each person's narrative to get the perfect outcome. I'm not going to tell you what happens at the end. I crumbled into a mess. It was literally the saddest ending I have ever seen to a game. Not in a bad way, but I was crying. It was so sad. They just made this wonderful narrative that I got so involved with that at the end I was just like, I can't have this happen. Yeah, I would recommend playing it. It's not, unfortunately, on our favourite I can see Tempusbe's twitching that it's not our favourite place. It's not on Game Pass. It's not on Game Pass.
Not worth it.
It's on it's on Steam.
Stricken from the record.
It's on Switch, Steam, and PlayStation. It is not on Xbox. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Because
Because they didn't want it on Game
because
Pass.
they didn't want it on Game Pass. But it's only $14.99, and it is a good 3 to 6 hours if you're going to do it completionist. Like 3.5-ish when you're just doing it like as quickly as possible, like I was doing, and I think then up to 6 hours if you're trying to be a completionist and getting everything done with all your achievements. So it's well worth the $14.99 price tag. Does it have replayability? Probably not, because you know what's happening. But I mean, for $14.99, it's a good solid few hours of fun. Can't ask for much more. I would recommend it, and I really enjoyed it. Last day of June. A person,
watch
not the month.
the mini review on TikTok.
Watch the mini review on TikTok, and
Or
I would
watch
give
the
it
whole gameplay at Nettlecreates on YouTube.
I mean, you could, and you'll see what I mean by the ending at that point.
Etty has a really soothing voice when she's doing reviews, and yeah, so go and watch it. Yeah, don't give me that face. I was like, ooh. I was really
I thought it
intrigued
was
when I
very good.
watched it myself. Yes, we like the review.
They might
More
be
of them,
biased.
please.
Well, you'll be very happy to know that there will be another review this weekend coming out.
What
Anyway.
is that going to be on, I wonder?
You'll have to wait and see, won't you?
God damn it.
Anyway, a solid 9 dicks out of 10.
9 dicks out of dicks, yeah. It doesn't get 10 dicks because there's no dicks. So
Can't
9
draw a
dicks out of
dick.
dicks.
That's just the rule of thumb. If you can't draw a dick in it, you can't get 10 out of 10.
So, for any budding game developers, add
something
like,
that you can
drawing style thing to your game.
That you can put a
like
dick on it, yeah.
Artwork to it, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Photo mode, and then like the editing thing, like you get on your phone. That'll work.
Yep, that'll do. Just tiny little dick topiary just everywhere.
That's it.
My camera has just got
Welcome to the Temple of Dicks.
Dicks.
That's it. That is the name of the podcast.
Well, I'll have to put a star in that. Welcome to the Temple of Dicks.
Yeah.
Love it.
But that could be ambiguous.
Already got rid of us.
People might think that mean ducks.
Quack.
Anyway, Bendy, what have you been playing this week?
So, I finished Hitman 1 of the Hitman trilogy. Really liked it. Really liked that game. And I like because I haven't played any of the old Hitmans for a long time. So but I remember they didn't help you out as much, and it was kind of like you go in and you murder, and you probably do it loudly because being quiet is really hard because you don't know what the hell you're doing. Whereas these ones give you like clear like story points that you can go to, and there's like intriguing stuff that you can do. I think I said in the last one, and I really do like the way that they place them, and then how that leads to how you kill someone. And there was this really fun one, and I will spoil it if you haven't played it. Skip over in a minute or so, but you have to murder someone who's like locked out away in their compound, and this sounds really, really bad, but their mother died. I don't think it was a recent death, but they thought they were being haunted, and you have to like manipulate things to make him feel like he's being haunted by his mother, so that he locks himself away in his mother's room so you can murder him while he's in his mother's room. Like, it's horrid. Definitely the way I did it though, because I like ghosts. So but I started like the story mission thinking like, oh, this will probably be something like I don't know, like you just lead him to the mother's room while he's doing something or whatever, and you just kill him in there. But no, you have to like do a load of things to make him feel like he's being haunted by his mum, and I just think awful, but great, like so good.
Agent 47 going full on that one.
Yeah, literally, I was just like wandering around, just turning on a gramophone and then running away because so that no one saw, and this guy's just walking going, well, there's nobody around here. How did the gramophone turn on? He starts going mental. It's good. It's
all
very
hauntings
good. And
ever now.
I love hauntings. Love a good haunting. But I like the sense of humor that Eidos Interactive have. Like some of the things you can do and some of the things you overhear are just so funny. Like their writing is really good, and I'm enjoying that game a lot, and I'm intrigued to see how 2 goes and how it links into 1. And then how it all ends in the whole trilogy. But they're not massively long games. They are because they do have really good replayability, because you can only really do 1 story mission per level, because that always leads to the death of the person you're trying to get. And there's like 6 or 7 to choose from, so you can go through, and then you can just do a big exploding run through where you just literally go in with a rubber duck and just explode everything. So there's a lot of replayability with Hitman. So the fact that it doesn't take that long to play means nothing, because there are so many ways that you can kill people.
Sounds good. I played the first Hitman for a little while. It's quite interesting, and like you said, you can do things so many different ways as well.
Yeah, I'm very much enjoying. So I get on to Hitman 2, but I thought I'd give that a rest for a little bit. I played a little bit more Hades, still not out of hell, so that's good. 16 runs in, but I now have all the weapons unlocked, so I think I can get out, probably, hopefully. Or I just keep dying until I get 100% damage reduction, and then I'll definitely get out, right? Right?
How it works.
Yeah,
Sure.
sure. But that game's still beautiful. Just love the way that looks. Even if I never complete it, just being able to wander around like Hades is real good. And then I also played something different. Wanted to play something maybe not weird as such, but I was just scrolling through Game Pass, seeing what was about, and I saw a game called Contrast. Have you heard of this?
I have it downloaded to play.
Okay. So I downloaded it because it's kind of an aesthetic that I really like, and I didn't realize who it was made by until I was looking up the game, because if I'm honest, it's frustrating. So I downloaded it because it looked like We Happy Few. The
Yeah.
women on the front look like one of the masks from We Happy Few, and I quite enjoyed We Happy Few. Funnily enough, it is by Compulsive, is that right? The developers. And I thought it was a newer game than it was. It's actually from 2013. It's kind of jank. It has a really cool aesthetic about it. It's set in the 20s, and you're an imaginary friend of a little girl whose mother is like a cabaret singer. And you don't ever see any of the adults. You only ever see their shadows, which is quite a cool thing. Like when they're talking about when you see like cutscenes and things, and it does have a really cool mechanic of you can blend into shadow, and the whole puzzles are around manipulating shadow to be able to get into different places. My problem with it is it has that I'm just going to drop out of like the shadow mode whenever I feel like it, which makes you fail a lot.
All right.
And it's quite glitchy, and I glitched out in quite a few different places, but it's kind of to be expected because it is from 2013. It's not a new game. Like, it looks really cool. It has a really cool sort of like art style and stuff, but I couldn't get over the the when it I don't know whether it was me doing things wrong or whether it was the game doing things wrong. I really like the idea of being able to like change where lights are so that when you blend into shadow you can then get into different places. That's a really cool idea. I just don't know if it was executed all that well in this game. And I've only played the first act, and I might try and play the rest, but I don't know. I'm not sure. It does look very cool though.
I'm definitely going to give it a go because it's something I can't remember how long I've had my eye on it now, but it's something I've seen in the past, maybe a couple of years or something like that, and it's always something I've wanted to play. And then when I saw it was coming to Game Pass, I was like, "Oh, fantastic! I'm finally going to be able to get around to it." I'll probably still give it a go, but like I said, it's like it's like a 9-year-old game now, isn't it? And
Yeah.
to be fair, like you think what 9 years ago, it was probably the 360
Mm.
It was
was
a
playing on.
360.
So
Yeah.
you know, it's there's been 2 generations of Xbox now since then. So things are
The
always going to improve, aren't they?
graphically, it looks pretty cool. It has very much American McGee's Madness, Alice
Yeah.
Madness Returns,
Yes.
like that aesthetic, which I absolutely love. And also, Alice can be real jank as well, having played a little bit of that recently because it's on Game Pass. That has jank to it as well, and it has that similar jank, but I don't know what it is about Alice that made me just like want to play it. I don't know if the story is intriguing enough to keep me going like it was in Alice. I'd say pick it up. It's Game Pass, isn't it? So, and see if you
Worth a go. I mean, like I
get
said,
on it.
I've already got it downloaded. So
The first act only took me like half an hour, and I think there's like 4 or 5 acts, so I don't think it's a massively long game either. But that mechanic, I think someone needs to pick that up because a real good puzzle game could come out of that. And I'm just sort of imagining like a Limbo looking game, but you manipulate shadow in a world that looks like that. I think that would be. I mean, game developers, call me. I have ideas.
any of them
Bendy,
now. At
the
this
game
point, anyone
designer.
call us.
Yeah, literally, we're desperate.
Just please, just call us.
Phone number now flashing on the screen.
But that's not it. That's not it. I want to talk about one thing just before I go on to like the last thing that I have started playing and then leads on to my news. I wanted to talk about Arcane. How good is that series? Like, I'm not a League of Legends fan. Yes, I'm gonna do her mother. So we're gonna hang out.
Oh God, you're gonna be my mother.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Or it could be Vi. But that, like, yeah, not a big League fan, so I don't know all the characters. I don't understand all of that. But that show, well written, well voiced. The art style is probably one of my favorite things in it. Like, so good. So I just wanted to drop that in there. That I watched that in 2 days. Yesterday and the day before.
I've seen 1 episode.
I watched the rest.
So it did what Vox Machina is doing right now. It came out in increments of 3. So I got 3 episodes, and they're different chapters within, like, there's 3 from the beginning, 3 from the middle, and 3 from the end. And when it got to the end of the first 3, I was like, and then it got to the end of the series completely, and I went and burnt my house down because I wanted more.
I literally wanted more. Like that last, like, those last couple of like scenes, I'm like, what? She chose that chair?
Right.
So good.
I'll finish it then. I'll
You should,
watch it.
because if nothing else, there is a particular fight scene that's on a bridge between 2 of the characters, and the fight, along with the music, is the best thing I have ever seen.
Did that scene remind you of Into the Spider-Verse? I had such Into the Spider-Verse for
I think they probably were quite influenced by that.
With the music, and also like that character's sort of madness, the way that those sort of like paints superimpose over like people's faces and stuff.
So the other character's whole thing, like his in LOL, is manipulation of time anyway. So what he was doing, it just worked so perfectly. It was fantastic.
Like it just flipping out that watch. Oh, that is such a good scene. So good. All the
Tempus, when you get there, you'll understand why we're getting mushy over this. It's so good.
It makes me want to play League.
So actually, funnily enough, the way that portrays out, it's not so much League, it's actually more Runeterra, the card game. Runeterra has much more lore in it that's all based around Arcane. LOL was obviously, I mean, it has lore, but it doesn't go as in depth as Runeterra does.
I think the characters are really well done. Riot Games, you've built up some really cool characters and a really nice story and art style. By far my favorite art style. It's very, very Dishonored, and
It is,
everybody.
yeah,
I've talked about how much I love the art style of Dishonored countless times in this podcast. That's probably why I just sat with it and could not stop and stayed up far too late the last 2 nights. But it's so good.
It's
so good. Anyway, that was my drop-in video game adjacent must watch. Definitely do that. But I downloaded again to replay The Wolf Among Us.
Hey! Can't imagine what this is.
Which leads on into what's happening and my news. So we don't need to talk about the news.
The news!
Thanks, Tempusbe. So we don't need to talk about Wolf Among Us. I've played it before. I just really like that game, so I'm just going to read it to refresh my memory because they've just dropped the Wolf Among Us 2 trailer. When everyone thought we weren't getting the Wolf Among Us 2, we're getting the Wolf Among Us 2. Bigby motherfucking Wolf is back.
Yeah,
and he is fighting some motherfuckers from Oz. And it looks incredible. It looks incredible. It looks more Wolf Among Us. Give it to me. Inject it into my veins. I don't need to say anything more about it. Give me a release date. I'm pre-ordering it, getting it day one. You'll hear me talk about it when I play it.
It's lovely. Give it to me. The freaking scarecrow.
Well,
what?
Bigby set the scarecrow on fire.
Oh yeah.
Yes, he did. It was just that scene where it crashes through the wall and you just hear like, and then the wolf comes out. I'm like, bring back the wolf.
I think
I love Bigby.
The bit that got
How does
me
your anger manifest?
was when that music started playing. That was probably my favourite thing. I mean, The Wolf Among Us was brilliant, but I thought the music in that was brilliant. And when that kind of opening sequence music started playing as he's walking through the hallway leading up to like the bead curtain and that, I was just like, oh yes.
They're keeping like the Telltale art style, and it just looks nicer, and I'm very, very excited to see how that story carries on. So I'm going to familiarize myself with the current story because I remember bits of it, but I don't remember everything. So I'm going to replay all of it. And
so, do we think it's going to be an episodic thing again, or do we think we're going to get like just a full game now?
I don't know.
You think about every Telltale has been episodic.
It has, hasn't it?
But is it still actually Telltale?
Well, no, technically not. It's only got a few of the developers that work there still. I can't remember who took over it. So I don't know. I don't know if episodic games have had their day, shall we say.
Was Life is Strange True Colours? That was a full game.
I have not played Life is Strange. No.
I mean,
so I'm just thinking of those were all episodic too.
I mean, I kind of get episodic games. It gives them time to like work on more of the game as people are playing it or whatever. But at the same time, it's like, just give me the whole game.
Give it to me.
I just want to be Bigby Wolf.
I was lucky enough to.
No, sorry, True Colours is not episodic. It ditched it.
No, so that's why I'm thinking maybe they've done the same. But they've had a bit of time to make it.
I think they still have a year and a couple of months. I mean, it's a year. Shit,
well, it's 2023,
it's a year.
Isn't it? So...
Yeah, it's summer 2023.
Yeah, so that feels like years away.
gonna play Wolf Among Us once a month until it comes
Yeah,
out.
just a little bit.
Just play a
Give it
chapter.
to me, please.
Play a
Just
chapter a
give
month.
it to me. I
Read some of the books.
Yeah, I do want to get some of the
Make a
the
cosplay.
Fable comics. I could do Snow. I've wanted to do Snow for a while. Or Big B. Who doesn't want to dress up like Big B?
Doesn't want to be big. Yeah.
I mean, my hand did not go up, so, and I don't cosplay.
Well,
Excellent.
that was my what playing and news. Like, I don't nothing else to say about it
Smooth.
apart from we are getting the Wolf Among Us 2.
I reckon we should all play it at the same time while all streaming it at the same time, all in Discord, and have the reactions at the same time.
That's it. No, we just cosplay while one person's playing it. And we'll all just sit there.
Help us make the decisions.
Yeah.
in
I'll be
that.
Toad.
You'll be Scarecrow. I'll set you on fire.
What?
I'll just
Well, this
be
took a turn.
I'll just be Dorothy sitting there on the couch. Then it will happen.
Dorothy just didn't give a shit, did she?
She looked cool as fuck. I can't wait to meet her. She was just like, I've been to Oz. You can't fucking phase me.
I'm on mushrooms, man.
I've seen some shit.
I've seen shit. All right, I've melted an actual witch with a fucking bucket of water, Big B. Take me.
I like how she only reacted when she lost the TV.
I mean, I'd be
To
pretty
be fair,
pissed
yeah,
too.
she's got it right.
So, smoothest transition we'll ever have.
Never gonna happen again.
from one topic to the other. Nettle, crack on with your news.
So, my news. Now, if you roam your memories, or, if you're watching or listening on any other channel, just go back, I don't know, 15 episodes? One of our questions we had in one of our earlier episodes was, what game didn't get made that you really wanted to get made, or something along those lines? I can't remember off the top of my head. I basically didn't do my research properly on it. And somebody, Tempusbe, his answer was a game called Scalebound. Yeah, that I remembered. I know. And recently, Platinum Games have had an interview with IGN Japan, where they basically said if Microsoft were up for it, they were very happy to get this game back on and complete it. And it was very, very far in development, so it really wouldn't need that much completing. Although they probably would have wanted to put it into Unreal 5. But yeah, so Platinum Games basically said, Microsoft, talk to us, we want to do it. So hopefully, because let's face it, at the moment, Microsoft are on a bit of a let's do it binge. We might be getting our Dragon RPG that everybody wanted so many years ago. Finally. And to be fair, if I was Microsoft, I'd do it. Because that's an exclusive still for Xbox. It was never meant to be going on PlayStation. It was meant to be an Xbox exclusive.
Game Pass day one.
Game Pass day one.
Mr. Spencer, Phil, our buddy Phil, do this for us.
So,
for the Unnamed Gaming Podcast.
Yeah, do it for the Unnamed Gaming Podcast. According to Hideki Kamiya, who was the producer and creator for it, he has been trying get in touch with Mr. Spencer to get a meeting to get this going. So, with the weight of the internet, tweet it.
Tweet Phil. Phil, give us Spellbound. Hashtag give us Scalebound.
Yeah, the only problem is, and this this leads into one of the games that Bendy was playing. Hitman developer IO Interactive are apparently working with Xbox for an exclusive fantasy game featuring dragons.
Oh, shit.
Now, the problem being, I don't think... The thing is, I don't think Platinum Games actually own the IP for Scalebound anymore. So what has quite likely happened is Xbox has given the IP to IO Interactive.
They've just pulled the rug out from
They've
under
just
them.
pulled the rug out from underneath them.
It still just annoys me with the fact that this game was pretty much
so
complete.
close to being finished. It was one of those things where I don't understand why they pulled it. I don't understand. I mean, Xbox back then were obviously a very strange little bunch anyway, so... But, I mean, I don't know. Either way, it sounds like we're going to be getting our RPG Dragon game. We just don't know who it's going to be coming from.
What does an IDOS interactive RPG Dragon game look like? Are all the dragons bald?
Yeah, it's Hitman, but you're a dragon.
Yeah, you're just a hit dragon.
So you're basically... Yeah, but instead of taking out one target, you're taking out villages at a time.
And he just has to get away from, like, the seers of the dragons by dressing up like a
chased by
villager.
the cavalry on their little horses that you could easily blow away.
It's okay, it's fine. If you dress like a villager, you still look like a dragon, but you dress like a villager, but no one will know who you are.
Fake moustache on the front of this dragon.
Yep.
Me? I've not seen a dragon around here.
Goes around the corner, changes clothes, come back out with his moustache on. What are you talking about?
Talking about
Good day,
dragon
sir.
here.
Tips his bowler hat and monocle.
I said good day, sir.
I said good day.
I must go and get the 315 from Waterloo. Bang, 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 bang. That's what I don't know.
and then burps out fire.
Fire.
What's that?
Sorry, nothing.
You wounded me with your accusations.
It went that way. I just saw it. It went that way.
Oh my god, is that a dragon?
Just flies off. The monocle falls onto the floor.
Oh no! It was the dragon all along.
What I stand?
What, like fucking what's it? Usual Suspects when he drops the mug. And he realises what's happening. It's like the monocle slowly falls and like you see all the clues through the monocle.
But
yes.
So say the dragon was kind of so all along.
Brilliant. Just give the dragon the ability to like breathe out a smoke bomb. Gone.
Just walks away in the background over there.
Yeah. Goes like this behind his wing.
But yes, this was my news. It looks like at some point in the near future, we may be getting a dragon RPG game. Whether it's Scalebound that's been given to somebody else, we don't know yet.
Honestly, I want this game now. I want our game now.
It's hit scales.
Inspector Scaled, son.
That's it. Oh, it's like Poirot, but you're a dragon. I'll play the shit out of that.
Oh my god.
I will play the shit out of that.
The pink dragon.
Yes.
Murder on the Dragon Express? Oh no, I've got to see. My camera did not appreciate that joke. It's gone again.
Camera said no.
No. Hello? Hello?
We have the best ideas, you guys.
We do. It's a shame no one takes it up.
I'm going to say nobody cares.
Like, you're in the biz, Nettle. Tell people how good we are.
Why can't you just make our games?
Yeah.
Do any fucking work or just tell everybody what to do.
Exactly. Tell them to make our games.
To make our games.
But by the way, guys, do you want to make
Dragon
Inspector Detective story?
This is the new game you're working on this week.
And then it will have elements of like Ace Attorney in it too. Why
not? On the trial, they're just like, yeah.
J'accuse.
Oh,
this game is going to be tip top. Game past day one.
I imagine when Nettle hands over the bit of paper, like describing what the game is, it's literally just a doodle of a detective dragon on a napkin in crayon. Make this.
Make this go. Do it.
Yeah, it's still got the ring and the drink on it.
Like, were you drunk? Well, I was a couple of cocktails in, but yeah, I think it's a great idea.
I wasn't drunk, but I wasn't sober.
How dare
I was sober.
Sir?
They were drunk.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you bring up your wing, and you were the dragon all along.
Oh, I was the dragon all along.
Yes.
It was the friends that we made along the dragon way.
The end.
The end. I'm actually
mark.
I'm quite worried when the game that we're making actually gets announced. I'm quite worried about what you two are gonna fucking do.
No. When we eventually make a game, we're going to have 0 input.
Oh,
We're
okay.
just gonna we're just gonna have our names in the title somewhere. I'll do voices. That's fine. I'm happy with that.
No,
Let
we are
someone
going
else
to be
write it.
listed as General, Admiral, and
That's it.
Marshal Idiot.
First names that come up in the credits.
Unnamed Gaming Productions presents game. The game.
Yeah, that's it. Game the game. But it's
Game
like
the
the
game.
dragon.
It's got dragons
the
in
game
it.
too.
We've got pizza. That didn't realise they were pizza.
Oh, that's the mini game in the dragon game.
We've got some
Excellent.
kind of
I love
Witcher
it.
RPG in
But,
there.
yeah, but the dragon is a character in the Witcher MMO
Oh.
with the pizza mini game in it. This is it. We're making one big unnamed gaming universe with everyone, with all our guests' answers.
Anyway, Tempus.
Yeah. So my news. Mine
Does it
is
have
not
dragons in it?
celebrating. No, unfortunately not. It's not celebrating the release or potential release of a game that we're all excited for. I actually thought it'd be quite cool to talk about the Steam Deck, as a couple of YouTubers have actually been given them to get their hands on them and have a bit of a play with them and stuff like that. And we just got a few more details about it and things like that. I'll also add something else into it that was going to be my news the other day until this came out. But basically, it sounds like it runs really well, even with latest AAA games on it. The battery life, dependent on how strenuous the game is you're playing, is between 2 to 8 hours. So it's not too bad for a handheld system.
The
But-
Switch.
Yeah.
Like if you're playing your Breath of the Wild on battery, you're not going to get more than 4 hours out of it, 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, no. I mean, to be fair, I think it says 2 to 8, but one of them did say no matter what they were kind of playing, they were running at around 6. So it's not too bad. You take that, yeah. And they're also saying that in terms of frame rate, Devil May Cry 5 was never dropped under 60 frames per second.
Okay.
Ghost Runner was running at 64 frames per second. Well, so we've got Control would dip into the 30 frames per second. So some of them weren't doing as well as others. Control's quite a weird one though.
It's very CPU heavy or GPU
Yeah.
heavy as far as I remember.
Yeah. But Forza Horizon 5, it would show odd physics issues, but it would stay at 60.
Okay.
So there's a few tweaks in that. The one thing that I kind of picked up on, I guess it's the same as the Switch as well, though, is you cannot replace any parts to it. Even though it's pretty much a handheld PC to a degree, you cannot upgrade anything. The battery is not replaceable either in it.
Would you want to? If you want to...
I mean, not necessarily upgrade, but
want-
I'm thinking your battery. Eventually, your battery might get to the point where it all batteries start to lose their longevity, don't they? But I guess it is what it is.
You can't really change batteries in laptops and stuff anymore. It's not as easy as it used to be. So
No, I mean
it's
you
not,
can't do anything with apples, can you? So
yeah, it's not. I don't think it's that weird, and it's you can't. What's the point in upgrading a graphics card? You might as well just get an actual PC.
Yeah.
I mean,
but looking at it control wise, you've got all your buttons that you'd get on your Switch or your PlayStation controller. You've got a couple at the back as well, but you've also got 2 trackpads underneath where your joysticks go, so you can more or less got mouse pads. So if you prefer to play, it's almost like rather than being stuck on the stick and you can only go where the stick goes, you're free to use your thumbs just as long as they slide along the pads. So it's something different, I think, from what it is. But I think the
ratings and stuff are people giving it? Are they enjoying playing with it?
Well, I mean, as far as I can see, there's only 2 people, and they've basically they've done teardowns on YouTube, so they've undone it all and opened it all up and that. But for I think the general consensus is it's going to be very good. But this is the biggest part, because I didn't realize it was this close. It's being released on the 25th of this month, and it will cost you £350,
Not bad.
Bad.
which I don't think is too bad for a portable PC. Like, I
PC.
mean, you
Yeah.
literally you can, and the thing is, it's like I did read as well. As much as it's called Steam Deck, you can link other things to it as well. I can't remember what it is. Steam handling PC games libraries of hundreds of games and syncing in progress across existing hardware and portable to play. The only thing that I have seen, this was the thing I was looking at before, was that Epic have turned around and said that they're not going to port Fortnite to it. I mean, I'm not bothered by that, but I just think like one of the biggest games out there could be available to be played. I mean, I know you can get it on the Switch and stuff like that, but I just found it interesting that Epic were like, do you know what? No, we're not interested in that. But,
it's strange though. Like,
well,
I guess
Epic
because
and...
they're trying to, I guess, I forgot what the word is that I'm trying to say. Great, my mind off. I'm not functioning properly. Their demographic for that is older. I would say would be an older demographic, whereas Fortnite is primarily for children, really. So they're going to put it on the easiest devices, so like the Switch and your phone and those sort of things. I don't think.
I just think it's weird that they've made it available on everything already. Like you said, it's mobile, it's Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, PC. Why not just do this? You know, I just find it odd that they've decided not to just put it on this when it could easily done. I know I think the main probably issue is the fact that you have to get it through the Epic Store on your PC. And as much as
they wouldn't put the Epic Store on the
on
Steam
Steam,
Deck, would they?
no, that's probably
Maybe they
what the issue is coming to. Yeah,
and Steam were like, no, we're not going to let you have a storefront on our storefront.
Yeah,
and then Epic have gone, well, then you're not having Fortnite.
Yeah,
and Steam were like, I don't really care.
I mean, there's plenty of free games out there. Imagine being able to play Apex just on a journey somewhere, you know. Or, you know, I mean, I'm not saying like that's the first thing you'd go to, but obviously coming to my mind, if you went on away somewhere and you still wanted to play Apex for like a night with some people, easily done.
You're not wrong.
And you've got a lot of like indie games, and which I think are perfect for handhelds. And Steam is like, that's what it's about. It's about the indies, isn't it? So I think this will be really good to when people want it to play those, really.
Yeah, I mean,
then it's just like, we can also do big games too.
Well, it says that obviously, like from the list of games they've tested on it, they can do big games. So I think it'll do well, and I think that price is quite reasonable.
Yeah,
350.
Yeah.
So
don't know what it looks like, but I'll search for it later.
It looks quite cool, actually. It almost reminds me of a Wii U pad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll know what as soon as you see it, you'll know.
The most successful games console of all time, the Wii
U.
Everybody loved it.
I mean,
everybody bought a Wii U.
I had 4. Anyway, I think that brings the end of the news section before Nintendo calls us.
Who's that, you mean?
That'll be the one time we get called because we've badmouthed the Wii U.
Nintendo, do you want to do a better Nintendo Direct next time? Thanks.
Oh, sick.
I thought she was
Burn.
going to say, "But Nintendo, do you want to make our Detective Dragon RPG game?"
No,
Yeah, make
not on
it-
Switch until you give me Zelda. No.
put him in Zelda.
Detective Dragon in Zelda.
Who's this new character in the Zelda universe? He'll be a Smash character before you know it.
Everybody will love him.
Anyway,
Anyway.
finishing the news, we lead on to our weekly question, which I posed to my fellow hosts. I'm going to read it how I sent it, but it's probably not phrased how we're probably going to answer it.
Yeah.
But like the way I asked it was, I will click on this quick. What protagonist did you hate playing as? Now I'm gonna little caveat there. I don't necessarily mean it was an absolute dickwad or anything like that. It could be anything that just made you not care about playing them. I mean, they can be a dickwad if that's what made you hate playing them. But like, it's someone that you just probably that you were like, I really don't like playing as you. I think that kind of makes sense. But I'll start with Nell.
Okay. This will
'Cause
be the last
apparently I'm gonna
unnamed.
rage.
Yeah, this is going to be the last unnamed gaming podcast because Tempus is going to kill me and never speak to me again, and not necessarily in that order. But so I want to caveat that the game in itself is not a bad game, and I didn't necessarily hate the protagonist because they were a dick or they just weren't a good character. I just didn't think the game and the character were necessary. And my choice, I'm really scared now, is Nathan Drake from Uncharted. Because, as we all know, I am a massive Tomb Raider fan, massive Lara Croft fan. I love the series, and it really felt like to me that they were like, right, well, we'll just bring out a male Tomb Raider, shall we? And it's like, no, fuck off, we don't need one.
This is a time where dicks are not wanted.
Yeah, your dick is not needed in this particular area of archaeology. Fuck off. So I don't hate Nathan Drake as a person, okay? As a character, he's perfectly fleshed out, and the games are perfectly good, but they were done previously in Tomb Raider, and the Tomb Raider ones were previously very good, and there was nothing wrong with them, and to me, it felt like dudes going, I don't want to play as a girl, I want a dude. And that's why I don't really think I don't like him as a protagonist because of that. If Tomb Raider and Lara Croft didn't exist, this would not be an issue. But she does, and they do, and it really felt like, and I know a lot of people are going to hate me for this, and they're going to be like, stop being so feminist, it's not needed. It's just like, to me, it felt like a kick in the vagina, because it was like we had a perfectly good protagonist. And if the tables were flipped, and on your vagina, if the tables flipped, if the table were flipped, and Nathan Drake came out first, and then Lara Croft came out, the same argument would be happening again. Dudes would be like, well, why did you bring out a girl? This isn't fair. We didn't need her. Nathan Drake was perfectly fine. So to me, it felt like that. That's what it felt. I don't feel like Uncharted brought anything different from Tomb Raider. And I don't feel like Nathan Drake, other than being American, was any different from having Lara Croft, other than being a dude. And it was built by his own ass anyway. Discuss.
It's just... I know... I mean, I like the Uncharted games.
I know.
I thought they were very, very good. And if you'd have asked me to guess, I would not have said that at all, because I honestly think he's very good, especially when he's paired with Sully. But obviously, this is an opinionated show, and everyone's allowed their opinion. I'm not going to say that. Obviously, I think you've you're talking shit.
I'm about to get a text message going, "You're a fucking dick, I hate you."
You're out. Get out. Craig's in.
No, I'm not coming to your wedding anymore.
Oh no, I'm doing that still.
The booze.
Tempus is going to be a bridesmaid.
Excuse me, I've been upgraded.
I'll help our
I'm
friend
there
make your dress.
all day. Which means I'm now coming up the night before too. So excellent.
Wait,
Anyway,
you're coming to the bridesmaid sleepover.
damn right.
Yay!
I'll bring my wig.
This conversation
Sweet.
derailed.
You can borrow a load of mine if you want. I'll bring a couple. You can choose.
Cool. We can try a few on. See how it goes.
Yeah.
Another tangent for you this week. Anyway, I mean, I kind of get where you're coming from, and I think probably there would be people out there that agree with you. But
I'm just like, I don't know any of them.
I just think I think it's just one of those things, isn't it, where it's like it's that style of game, and people are just going to rinse and repeat that style of game throughout time, aren't they? And it's not everyone's going to enjoy every version of like a character like that. That's each to their own, I think, isn't it?
Yes.
I don't know anything about Uncharted, so I have no comment.
Well,
But I do like Tomb Raider, so I do enjoy Tomb Raider and have done since the first games. So
we'll just finish it off with Laura's got enough balls for everyone. So
Oh god, she does, yeah. Laura is definitely more balls than most.
She's got enough pointy boob for everybody.
She out Madonna'd Madonna.
She absolutely did.
Queen.
Anyway,
Queen.
Bendy,
Yeah.
let's hear yours.
I'm gonna give an honourable mention to Duke Nukem because
Oh my god, he was such a cunt.
Yeah.
What not even funny. So he was a dick. He was supposed to be a dick, and
he fulfills his character.
Playing as him. Exactly. But my choice, and it could be just the character, or it could be the fact that I wasn't a massive fan of the game, but it's Booker DeWitt from Bioshock Infinite.
Interesting.
Before you carry on, I was thinking to myself, not this character, but it's not the one I've chosen, but one that was in my mind at the time was I can't remember his name, but the main character from the first Bioshock, because he just feels like an empty shell.
Yeah.
But he's meant to be an empty shell.
Yeah, no, I get that, but that's what makes him. He's the main character, but he's not. Everyone else is the story around you, and you're just this puppet.
I totally get that. I totally get where you're coming from with that. The story of Bioshock is about everybody else, and then that big reveal that everybody now knows. But I'm not going to say it just in case you haven't played that game. And if you haven't played that game, there's fucking wrong with you because Bioshock is fucking excellent. So play it. And similarly in Bioshock 2 as well, the Big Daddy that you play as.
Big Daddy,
yeah. Again, sort of like an empty shell, and then they try to flesh out someone that had substance, but really he was just a fucking asshole. Like,
I mean, yeah.
I was reading back through because I haven't played Infinite for a good long while because I won't replay it because I wasn't a fan. I'm sorry, Bioshock Infinite fans, but the timeline doesn't make any fucking sense still, and there isn't another lighthouse. So whatever. But yeah, like you think of like if you've played it, you know what Booker does. He sells his child to pay for his debts. He is then timey-wimey bullshit happens. He then goes to Colombia to save this girl to pay off his debts, kind of trying to make up for his mistake. And then he finds out that he is the biggest asshole in the world because of time and how that works, because it's a weird suit. But overall, I feel like he had no redemption at all. There was no redemption arc. He was an asshole when he was Booker DeWitt. He was an asshole when he was Comstock. Every single version of Booker is an absolute piece of shit. There is nothing good about him. And even when he, sacrifices himself for the timeline so that there can be another lighthouse, it's not him, it's Elizabeth. Elizabeth was the one that is going, you need to do this because you need to, and he never really is sacrificing himself for anything. He's horrible to his child, he's horrible to his wife in every single frame that you've got of him. And I don't know, I don't like him. You want your protagonist to be a protagonist. You want to feel for them, you want to understand like their struggles and stuff, but there was no redeeming features about Booker DeWitt. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I thought I would love this game because of the time period it was set in and how colourful and stuff it was, but for me it wasn't a Bioshock game. They should have just called it Infinite and have been done with it. But yeah, Booker DeWitt, piece of shit. And
See,
it rhymed, so it
I
must
think
be true.
I could get behind that one. I've only ever played the first Bioshock, by the way, but I've seen things of Bioshock Infinite and stuff like that, and so I kind of know the story and everything. But yeah, see, that just makes yeah, I just agree. I just agree.
You agree? You piece of shit.
I agree.
And also as well, not on anything about protagonists and hating them. The Burial at Sea, which everyone seems to absolutely love, ruins the timeline of Bioshock 1. Doesn't make any sense. I'm really sorry. If you want to tell me in the comments that I'm an idiot and that I'm wrong, go for it. But
With
Only
a
if you can
2,000
give
word
me,
essay.
Yeah, but only if it's constructive and you can actually give her the reason why she's wrong. Okay.
yeah, if you can explain to me how it fits and how it works, then yes, it's fine. Do it. And also, I don't like the way they had made Elizabeth in that as well, because I liked Elizabeth in Infinite, didn't like her in Burial at Sea. She became
Yeah.
her dad, basically.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler
She
alert,
was
but
a kid.
really, it's not a spoiler. It's been out for literally fucking years.
I mean, play it. It's a pretty game
You
and it
what?
still holds up. But
yeah, that's fair.
but
That's
yes,
fair.
Booker DeWitt.
Good answer.
Peace.
Good answer. I like that answer.
Cool. Right. My turn. I was toying between two. I will give both answers, but like one
Yay!
as the honourable mention, and then I will go into the other one. The honourable mention is Delsin Rowe from Infamous Second Son.
No idea.
Right.
The yes, I know. I've never played it, but I've heard. Yeah.
Infamous came out many moons ago. I think like PlayStation 2 and then PlayStation 3 for the second one. But basically, they're superhero games. You gain powers through the games, and you've got you can go good or you can go bad.
Okay.
So obviously, this is what makes this one a little bit ambiguous. But it's just this first kind of interaction with him, and from then on, you're just kind of like, I'm not with you, kind of thing. It's just he lives in this small, like almost Inuit style or like Indian style, like reservation kind of thing. His older brother's like the sheriff, whatever. And it's like there's not a lot of people around and things like that. And he's just off graffitiing and being an arsehole at the start of the game. And like his brother's like the sheriff. And it's like you're just being a knob. And it was just
I'm gonna stick it to my brother.
yeah. And like even playing through the game, like for his intentions is he's going to go and get the big bad's power so he can save the people from his village. But even then, playing for everything he does it just feels like it's for selfish reasons at the end of the day, and it just I don't know. He just never he never adhered to me like this is someone I'm rooting for. But the one I've actually gone with, the one I've chosen, right, is I've got to remember his name because I pulled up the wiki just to make sure. Is Ethan Mars from Heavy Rain.
Oh.
Yep.
So
Yeah. Like,
I agree, 100%.
yeah. Before everything happens, he just feels like he's self-centered and everything. Then he goes and like loses his kid in a mall.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Have you not played this game?
No.
Next to
Right.
Jason.
Yeah. Basically, he loses his. I think it's his youngest kid.
Oh.
No, it's his youngest.
Is it youngest? And then,
Yeah.
yeah.
He goes to buy his kid a balloon, but then in a busy mall, but doesn't pay attention to where the kid is. So then you spend literally 5 minutes as him walking through the mall going, Jason, Jason. And like you eventually find him outside the mall across the road. You call to him. So then the kid then runs across the road. Yeah. You jump in front of the kid. The kid dies. You end up in a 6-month coma. You kind of wake up. You're divorced. You've lost more or less everything. You just feel like this. I get, that's supposed to be the reason, like his personality at this point, but you are just this shell, like zero personality or whatever. The eldest kid comes to stay with you, who then gets kidnapped by a serial killer. And the serial killer, the origami killer, and then the serial killer leaves you tasks to do to try and give you clues to try and find your son. And I'm not being funny. Throughout the whole thing, he's whiny, and you have even everything he's been through. You have no sympathy for him. You want to go and do it because you want to save the kid. You're not doing it because you want, like in some other games, you'd be doing it because you want them to like get redemption or even be like the big hero. It wasn't about him. I just had no sympathy for everything he was going through, which is unfortunate because everything he went through is fucking tragic.
He was a bit of a wet blanket.
Yes.
And I don't know whether it was the voice acting or the writing or whatever, but I just didn't feel anything for him. Like the same as you, I was just like, ugh.
Yeah, and the thing is as well is like there's several endings to these games. It's like Until Dawn style game. It's just like story, and then you do like quick time events and stuff like that.
Well, it's Quantum Dream, isn't it? They did Detroit Become Human.
Yeah. But it's like with it, you have like 4. The thing is, I could have easily picked like there's 4 playable characters in this. I could have picked 3 of them from this game. The only decent one that I felt actually was worth anything was the private investigator. The woman, the reporter, felt bland, and the police detective was just weird as fuck.
Well,
yeah,
he wasn't a dragon.
Well, because he wasn't a dragon.
Wasn't a dragon, and also,
yeah. Well, I mean, I know it's a long time, been a long time out, but yeah, I mean that's. I think that's the one that when I asked the question, that was the one that was kind of forefront of my mind the whole time. It's like I was playing this game. There's the urgency to go and search your kid and that, but it didn't feel like he was urgent to do it. If you know what I mean, he had no. It was like he had no rush to go and do these things, and it's like the tasks he was meant to do. I think one of them he had the choice to kill or save someone. Like he was told to go and kill someone, and then it's your choice to either kill them or not. But whatever happened, he blubbed about it after. So it's like the only real choice here is that someone's either alive or dead. You're still crying like a baby, and I don't know if that's a bit harsh, but it just again.
Go and find your son. God's sake!
Come on, bitch. Anyway, like, but that's what I mean. Like the story that he's got, like his whole like reason for playing for this game, it just didn't feel like he was in any rush to get this done, and it didn't give me like the urgency to then go right. I've got to fucking get here.
You don't need to play the rest of the game to understand the character. You just need to watch the Jason scene.
Yeah.
Like, that just
Just Google
highlights
the
the way
Jason scene.
he is throughout the whole game. And I don't have children, so I can't really relate to this, but I guess you can, Tempest. It's like, if you lose, oh, I get anxious when I lose a friend at a con, let alone my own child. But if I lost my child, I would be like frantically running around, like in panic, trying to find them. He was just like, Jason,
Yeah.
and it was just,
Like he was going on a slow Sunday stroll.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. And I don't know. I think that was to do with not necessarily the writing, but the acting, the voice acting. It could that
I
it
mean,
could have had a little bit of emotion.
I think maybe
behind.
that's part of it. Maybe it was quite wooden. If it had been done
Yeah.
someone with maybe a bit more like character to it, because that's what it felt. It felt like it was just. It didn't feel like he was like your main character in it. He felt like he was. You'd have probably expected him to be more like an NPC that you talk to somewhere. But anyway, that's my answer.
One, totally agree.
Fun.
Excellent. I got an agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's just so true though. Like, if you do play it, I would think you would be hard pressed to find someone who doesn't find that guy just an absolute wet blanket. I have
I love it.
no sympathy. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yes, I think some good varied answers there. And I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think we've completed another podcast, people.
Yay!
Completed,
Number
mate.
18?
19.
20th episode next episode. Crazy.
Oh,
and is something special happening?
It's a special
next week?
episode. It's a very special
my word.
episode.
A special episode.
All I'm saying is I'm going to make him go topless whether he likes it or not.
Sorry, Craig,
That's
mate. You've got to
bringing
go.
him in. Bringing him in.
That's it.
Right there,
Yes.
just tantalising. Craig
This-
topless.
I'm going to get a text on Saturday night going, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I'm just going to put this out there. This is the one episode you want to listen to with headphones in. So.
Not already. We talked about Only Monks before. It's going to be the bunkiest.
Oh yeah, the bonkiest episode. Episode 20, the bonkiest.
Thirst traps all over.
That's
Come
it.
and get your thirst on.
Not from me.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you both for joining me. As always, these are fantastic. I look forward to them every week. Yes, I'm sure we'll have a preview up at some point beforehand. And Bendy, where can we find you? You're just poking each other.
Anyway, you can find me everywhere. Bendy Ben's Costuming. Come and say hello. Do ask questions about games. Harry, I'm talking at you.
And to answer your question, a butterfly.
A stag beetle. No way, I couldn't be a stag beetle. I don't know.
Nettle, where can we find you?
You can find me on pretty much all social media places as Nettlecreates.
Excellent. And I have been Tempusbe. I am at Tempusbe everywhere you can find at Tempusbe. That made no sense. Anyway, you can find the podcast. Links will be down below, but primarily any way you'd like to get in touch with us to ask us questions, give us anything that we'd like to use on the show at T_U_G_P on Twitter. That's it. So yeah, if you've got any questions that you think would be interesting, we'll always listen and we will always add them to the list. So yeah, next week
Will
something special this way comes, and then the week after back
they be
to
there?
normal.
Will they be there?
They'll
Probably down
probably be
there.
where Craig is.
So
We will be
Oh,
smaller next week on YouTube.
I'm hoping they'll be where Craig is.
Oh dear. Oh, dear. Oh my word, Nell. Well, that's the clip. Before this gets out any more out of hand, thank you for joining us. We will see you all next week. But that's a bye from us. Goodbye.
Dicks!
Thanks.